What are you doing here at IC? A question I kept on hearing since I was first appointed as head of STEAM and a design technology instructor here at IC. Coming from a background of creating and inventing new and innovative products, the job of an instructor seems a little bit too easy. Before I satisfy people's curiosities and answer this question, first, I will ask you some questions. How many of you have once lost their mobile phone? Raise your hands. How many of you were able to find it again? Those of you who didn't find it just went ahead and bought a new one, right? Those of you who never lost their mobile phone can imagine how the situation would be devastating, right? We've all experienced losing internet connection, but it eventually comes back. Now imagine if it didn't come back. You're going to say, is it possible that we lose a technology that we all use and we all have? My answer is yes, and it has happened. Before digging deeper into this matter, let us first agree on what the term technology actually means. The first thing that springs into mind when we hear the word technology is computers, robotics, AI, and all of the things that we relate to computers. Oxford Dictionary defines the term technology as applying a scientific knowledge into a practical use. So it's not only bound to computer and everything related to it. It's everything that we have ever created since the dawn of humanity. An example on this is the microphone that I'm using now to speak to you. It takes in my voice and transforms it to an electric signal that is then amplified so that you can all hear me in this big auditorium. Even the seats that you are sitting on, they have the self-folding seat bottoms so that when you stand up, the seat folds back on its own. It uses the science of springs and mechanics in order to do so. So it is applying a scientific knowledge into a practical use. So it is a technology. So basically technology is anything that we have ever created and we can evolve. So from this point, what does it take to actually create this technology? Creating a technology is based or depends directly on the level of knowledge of a civilization. It's the knowledge of making the most out of available resources. That being said, an example of an evolving technology is the floppy disk. For our Gen Z audience who don't know what this is, it is a portable device that is used to store and transfer data, used in the 1980s and 1990s. It could store up to a 1.4 megabytes of space. Truly amazing. It's a joke by today's standards, but it was cutting edge back then. It then morphed into several technologies to the compact disc or the CD, or then the USB flash drive, which is then being outused by the cloud storage. Here we can see the knowledge of data and the digital science being evolved into something better. We are losing and forgetting some of these products, but the technologies behind it is still there because we are still interested in storing and transferring data. So can a whole population simply lose something that they do and use? Which brings us to the question, how can a technology be lost? Have you ever wondered why we still can't figure out how the pyramids were made or built? Some quick facts about the pyramids. The pyramids are made out of the Great Pyramid of Giza is made out of 2.3 million tons, million stones, each weighing between 2.5 and 15 tons, and standing 146 meters in height. The king's chamber inside the pyramid is lined with red granite stones, each weighing between 50 to 80 tons, which were raised 43 meters high. The dimensions of the pyramids represent half a hemisphere. It is a perfect 1 to 43,200 scale ratio of the Earth's dimensions. Do you know what the number 43,200 represents? It's the number of seconds in half a day. How could have a civilization from 2,550 years BC know all of this stuff? How could they have lifted such heavy stones? How could have they known the dimensions of the earth? It's truly mind-boggling. The pyramids stood as the tallest man-made structure for 4,000 years until being surpassed in the 1300s by the Lincoln Cathedral in England. Why did it take so long for us to build a taller structure? Did we simply lose the interest in building tall structures? I don't think so. It has been, historically speaking, a competition between nations to see who could build the tallest structure or the longest bridge or whatever. So many theories were developed on how they were built. Some are more plausible than others, but none are definitive. That being said, a British writer called Graham Hancock even promotes a theory that says the pharaohs of Egypt did not build the pyramids, and that an ancient advanced civilization built them, and this civilization was eradicated by the Great Flood, which was scientifically proven to have happened, and all of the knowledge of this civilization was wiped out. He continues to say that the pyramids were built as a sustainable power plant that harvests the vibration of the earth and transforms it to a sustainable power energy source that doesn't use batteries that are harmful for the environment, something that we can't still figure out to this day. So, how did this happen? Many people came up with theories that perplexed them to an extent that they said the aliens built pyramids. Done, problem solved. So, factually speaking, we are looking here at a technology or a very advanced technology that has been lost. Can you imagine how we could have evolved if it wasn't for that 4,000-year gaps? If the technology was available and we continued to evolve it, can you imagine the level of knowledge in the construction field we would have had if we didn't lose this technology? Losing a technology is something devastating for humanity because we thrive on evolving. We constantly seek to widen our knowledge in order to better understand the universe around us, and also to make the most out of opportunities that are available during our lifetimes, and to improve the life for our offsprings. So, saying this, you might imagine, why am I bringing this issue up today? Losing technologies. How can we avoid losing technologies and to continue to improve them? The answer is easy, by simply never stopping to learn. Getting back to my question that I started with, what am I doing here at IC? I found a very noble goal behind teaching, which is to create a future generation of creators and innovators that could still or continue to evolve technology, preventing it from being lost. I like technology, and I want to see it evolve even more. And my faith is in the next generation. The topic of technology and how it's controlling our lives became a little bit controversial recently. But needless to say, it has enabled us to do some amazing stuff. We could travel across the world, across the globe in less than one day. We can reach other planets and discover them. Truly amazing stuff. So my message to you today is to never to stop learning and to never be reluctant to share your knowledge with others. You won't lose anything. Thank you.